So we finally have a new friend with this update in patch 5.12.08. We finally have the Dryo. Now we're going to be looking in depth at the Dryo, looking at its calls, what it can do, and we're also going to be looking at the other major hitters that they brought into the game, like AI and some new attacks for the Raptors. And then at the end of the video, we will be covering some little tiny knickknacks that they threw in and some things that I noticed. So thank you guys for coming along for today. And remember, stop by the Twitch stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. to watch us play the Isle and many other games. So link will be in the description below. And let's show you guys what's going on with this new patch. So we've got the new Dryo, and it is looking quite good. As we zoom in, and you get to see just so much detail on the player model. The sounds, the calls are about the same. I think they've been recycled from Legacy, but you know, whatever. I'm not that mad about it because this new player model looks, honestly, it looks so amazing. I used to never think that the Dryo should be able to stand up or let alone even run before, but this one, they did a really good job with it, and it's nice to see a new dino in EVRIMA. Now, I think my favorite thing about the Dryo so far is how it mud wallows, because look at that thing. It just floops on the ground, and oh man, it's just so adorable. You guys are gonna love playing this thing with about a 50-minute grow time, give or take a few minutes. I timed it today, but you know, it ended up around 47 minutes. But 50-minute grow timer, not too bad, pretty fun. We're gonna show you the dodge next. Now we got the Dryo Dodge. It is the right mouse button, and typically it is aimed with your mouse, right where your mouse is facing. But I've noticed it can be a little wonky if you're not walking forward. So if you're using the dodge, if you walk forward with W, it is much more responsive to where you're aiming your camera, versus if you're standing still, you will kind of just jump randomly wherever. So to get more control with that, make sure you are walking, practice with a little bit, and you'll have it down easy. Now, as far as the actual utility of this skill, you know, it's going to be, are you actually out of the way of hitboxes when you dodge? So it's not an iframe or anything like that. So now we've got the new grouping system, which is pretty darn handy. So if you go up to someone and to call, they will see this on their screen, and you can accept with F1, reject with F2, and now you are in a group together. So if you press insert and go to groups, you'll see your names together, and you can also leave the group from that window as well. Now, when you leave the group, you will see that person's name still up until you get away from render distance. And then when you re-enter render distance with them, you won't see their name anymore. Just a little tidbit of information. If you are trying to leave the group and you're like, why is everyone's name still popped up? Just walk away from them. It'll go away. Now, another thing to note with this, where you can see your allies' names, that's render distance. And you can only hear calls when they are in render distance. So now we're showing off a little bit of the AI, and you can see that tiny little AI Dryo. Now they do come in all shapes and sizes, from little babies to all the way grown, and you can kind of see them pathing around here. Now, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to where they spawn, or I don't think it has anything to do with hunger now, because you can see the raptor's full, and I've got like 3 AI Dryos around me. I believe they just have set spawn locations throughout the map, probably close to water, and that's where they'll be dropping out of the sky at. And you can eat them and survive now. It's great. One thing to note is they will run away, they will call, and if you are a Dryo and you attack one of them, it will literally throw fisticuffs with you so quick, and it's terrifying. So if you're a baby Dryo and you see a big AI Dryo, watch yourself. If you attack it, it will attack you. Trust me, I learned the hard way and died. But the cool thing about the new Dryo is that they can kill raptors technically. It's about 10 bites to the head, to kill a raptor, 12 to the body, and around 19 hits to the tail. So Dryos can actually do something now, you guys. It's amazing. They can actually do damage. So I would say if you had 4 or 5 Dryos, you could actually take on one grown Utah. And you can definitely destroy juveniles. Alright, so now we're looking at the Utah's new attack. So if you hold left alt and left click, you will do this kind of dashy bit here. Now, it does go further if you attack backwards. So if you aim your mouse camera backwards, you go further than if you just attack in front of you. Now, is this viable in an actual fight with the Tenanto? And I think the answer is yes. Because what I was playing with here is the attack speed with this, and it's very quick. It's actually much quicker now than the normal bite, which I think the attack speed has been reduced on. They do the same damage. So you're not getting a damage bonus from using this new attack. It's just that it's quicker, and you get some movements with it. So if you flip that camera around and you utilize how far you can actually dash with it, I think it's actually very viable to use in a Tenanto fight. And we did fight after this. I didn't put the fight in just for length's sake, but I did find it very viable and used it quite a bit in the fight. Now you do have to watch out and be careful to get stuck, but I think it's doable. Now we're just kind of showing the hitbox on it with 2 Dryos moving closer and closer in together until we hit both of them or one of them. And you'll see that right about that range, that's where we're probably going to hit them every single time. So it does have a wide bit of range on it, and it does cleave damage, so it'll hit multiple targets at once. So honestly, I like it. It's really fun to use, you guys. It does use stamina, so you got to watch that. So try not to run out of stamina in a Tenanto fight, because then you're just going to be walking around like a sitting duck and probably get clapped. But for the most part, it's good. Now we're showing how many bites it takes to kill a Dryo, which is 3 to the head, 3 to the body, and 4 to the tail. Pretty easy. And 1 pounce will pretty much clean them up. That's probably as we expected, to be honest. Now we're just going to show a little bit of the speed between these 3 dinosaurs that we have now. The overall speed of everything was lowered, it said in the patch notes, but we're just going to compare them real quick. As you can see, the Utah is racing ahead, and the Tenanto is pretty side by side with the Dryo, but gaining a bit of distance as they run along. So that's just to give you a little idea of how fast the Dryo is compared to the other dinosaurs. Now we're just getting into some tidbits, things I noticed, and a couple small things in the patch notes. So the last patch they had a new system where after you'd taken damage, you had your max health lowered, so you couldn't heal all the way. Now it seems like they've taken that away. Before, I would heal myself with the admin commands, and I would still have red on my screen, and I would sit, and it took 30-40 minutes to get rid of all that. I think they've done away with it, so you can heal in just about 8 or 9 minutes with the Utah back to full health. Thank God. Fall damage, it's here. Get ready to die. And now we're showing here is that you can walk while grazing. And the other thing with grazing now is it will only fill you up to 20% of your max hunger. So you can't hit 100% hunger off of just grazing now, which that's what it is. It's there. So do with it what you will. It's fun to walk around and graze and roleplay, but you'll only be able to get 20% max hunger. And the last thing is that they have added a nice little sightseeing venture into the game now, a new little structure. So go check that out. Try and find it if you haven't yet. And make sure to come by the stream. Come by the server. It's called Bear PvP, no rules. Come by anytime. Play around with us. We got good ping. We like to fight and practice fighting and see how we can get better at the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. And good luck out there on EVRIMA. I hope you guys are having fun with it. I'm having fun with the new update. And leave a comment in the section below if you have any questions. Bye-bye.